You know what time it is, y'all? You know what time it is. It is Baltimore Spotlight. It's Monday and it's Baltimore Spotlight time, y'all. And so we're about to spotlight another one of my wonderful individuals that need a light shined on them anyway, right here on Unbox Daily Morning Show. Conversations with Renee, but it's the special day. It's Monday and it's the Baltimore Shine Your Light Day. So I got my sister on the call, y'all, and we're going to let y'all in on our conversation. And the good thing about it is, and I've said this before, we ain't talked in a whole half a month of Sundays, a couple Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But when you've got real relationships, you shoot out that text or you put out a call and they like, okay, sis, what's going on? Where we at? What we doing? Where we let's just start and keep it moving. So today, y'all, we're gonna be talking with my girl Tarhonika. Now in Baltimore, she known as Tarhonika and probably some other little names because we Baltimore. So we got them little nicknames back in the day, Tutu, Mimi, Lil Muff Muff, whatever. She might have one of them. I don't know. I don't know. But to others also who was checking out reality TV back in the day, she was Mama Key. And I'm only going to put the little pin right there because we're going to bring her son, Lil Key, up on the show and shine a light on him as well. But see, they was two people making two impacts. So we're going to have to shine two lights. What's up, Veronica?
Hello, 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 hello. It is such a pleasure. It is such a pleasure. Busy
Girl.
lady. Yes, it's definitely been a minute since we have chatted. So much has
Yes.
happened in between. But we here
Oh,
now. We
I know
here
that's
now. We
right.
here now.
And we're gonna let them in on a little bit of our conversation and stuff though. But it's crazy because I met her. Oh my gosh, look, and I say this all the time, and y'all so don't come for me. I'm like, you know what? I'm only 20, even though I've done about 50 something years of work or whatever. I'm only 20, right? So if I'm only 20, Veronica only about 20 or 19. How about that? So, but
Okay.
back in the day when we were doing a production, she actually played the mother to my daughter, and that's where my daughter career got started anyway. And she was my daughter's mother, and you know what, she actually took to
Yes,
her. You remember, Tarana?
I do. I do. Yes, I do. Man, that was taking it way
With
back.
Tarana, because she's 21 now. So
That's right.
okay, and she was 8 when she did the play. So we're
Wow.
talking a minute. We got some solid years with
Yeah.
us, sis. And then
Yeah,
wait,
they pretty solid.
they solid. They so solid, y'all. Check this out. I know she be like, this daggone girl. I call her just about every 3 to 6 months and be like, Veronica, I'm great film my show. And I know at this point she just like, just tell me when you got production. Cause I call her like every three to
Yes.
six months and be
We
like,
su- we submitting all these tapes.
headshots,
You know what?
tapes.
I gotta respect it though. I gotta respect it. One thing about it, you definitely always call.
I
So
do.
I can't say nothing to that,
I
but
do.
yeah,
And
my
look,
hat go off to you.
and listen, thank you, babe. And check this out. Because now I'm on the air. So now I'm held to this because, I'm already a woman of my word. But when I put it out there, it makes it even more solid. When this sitcom jumps off, now you know you solid. Check this out. You know you solid when you yourself is an actress, but you reaching out
Mhm.
to somebody else to play you in your production. You understand what I'm saying?
That's
I'm like,
that's right.
can't nobody else play me in my sitcom but Veronica. I'm just saying. I don't
It's
I
it's
don't want nobody else. And I mean, I'm just keeping it live and 100, right? So the fact of the matter with being from Baltimore, and this just came out today. In fact, I think I shared it on my IG page where it was talking about Idra. I probably said his name wrong. So Eldris, don't come for me.
Idris.
Idris,
Idris
Idris,
out.
Idris Eldris. Okay. Jess Hilarious had asked him, how did you study the Baltimore accent when he did The Wire? And
Mhm.
his reply was, well, I mean, I lived in New York, and so it's an East Coast dialect is really an East Coast dialect. Not, sir, New York don't sound like Baltimore, but we're gonna go ahead and let you slide with that because of The Wire and how well it did. But New York accent is not Baltimore accent, but we're gonna let you slide, right? Well, at least give you a little bit of pass. But when it came down to writing my sitcom about my life, I wanted somebody that was going to be able to exude not only our dialect, but honestly be able to be my character. Like Taronica is witty, she funny, she sarcastic, she gonna bring it, she's smart. And I was like, That's me. So
All of
who,
the above.
who else is
And
going
that,
to do that justice but you, sis?
man, I thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. That says so much. It says a lot. It's funny that you said that because it's been so many years, where in the beginning I started out in front of the camera, but lately, I found myself actually behind the camera. My last biggest project was actually one of the number one movies on all streaming platforms, it actually hit number one on Netflix. It was called For the Love of Money, and we actually did a tour.
Ah,
I, we did, I want to say, a 10 city tour, and that was
uh-huh.
just kind of like something different that has not been done. And
I
we had a
remember
lot of
that.
heavy hitters. We had a lot of heavy hitters in that movie. It was actually, the executive producer was called, his name is Melvin Childs.
Hmm.
It hit over 500 theaters nationwide.
That's what I'm talking
And
about.
like I said, it was one of the number one digital streaming movies outside of the actual big screen theaters. But we did a 10 city tour and it was amazing. Like I said, we had some heavy hitters in
Wait, I
there.
think I came to. I seen you in Atlanta with that, right?
Yes,
Yep.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, you did. So we had like Rotimi, Carrie. We had some heavy hitters in that movie. If y'all didn't see it, it's still streaming on Netflix. It's called For the Love of Money. Go check it out. Let me know what y'all think. Holla at me, holla at your girl Renee.
Absolutely.
You can find Melvin. But we got a lot of great feedback on that movie. So it was amazing. We did a lot of red carpet. We had a lot of special guests. It was a whole lot of work. I'll
I
tell you that.
remember.
Breaking down, in them cities on that tour bus, it wasn't no joke. But it was worth it, and I would do it again. So
I know that's right. And see, and y'all wonder why not find these people. These are my friends. Y'all wonder why I shine the light on them. I can't, I will say it. I might say it every day on Monday, but we are more than just the wire. Like we've got
right,
people. She just said how we went for, like I said, we met when she was in front of the camera. And like you said, the special skills and gifts that we had to go behind the camera, then to come out the
yes,
city. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm like,
yep.
that's what it's all about. And then the fact wait a minute, she didn't even say this, y'all, because sometimes, like I said, sometimes it might be hard for us to toot our own horn. But sister can blow. So again, when I said that she can embody all of, like, there is nobody else. Like the sister can blow. So it's like, what? We in front of the camera doing our thing. We behind the camera, and if you pass her a mic, she gonna blow it out, right? Girl.
Yeah, like I really kind of like it's weird. It's kind of like one of them sayings. It's like when you do things, you never know what that purpose is.
Hmm.
And it was like my purpose in being able to sing and creating projects and creating relationships. I never
Yes.
knew that that would transform into me managing,
Yes.
artists, and those relationships that I had created from me myself performing was actually a great networking tool. And, I started managing my son, Lil Key, and we made it to the big screen with
Yes, you did.
Jermaine Dupri and Queen Latifah on the rap game. And that
Yep.
was also like a number one hit on Lifetime TV. So we did season two, and then we made a cameo on season three.
But they
Um,
couldn't get enough of you, Shorty, because you was from Baltimore. You was Mama Key. Like you put
I
it down. You listen.
know.
They wasn't ready for you on reality TV. They wasn't ready for the reality.
Listen, reality TV is something, okay, guys?
They wasn't ready. They
But
was like,
again, every experience was a great experience, and God will put you in situations and you learn a lot, and you take what you get from it and you keep moving, and you apply what you need to apply, and you let go what you need to let go. You don't burn bridges. You
absolutely,
respect people where they are,
absolutely,
and move accordingly. So, every experience was a great experience. Some come with ups and downs, but you got to persevere through them all.
absolutely. But let me ask you a question. What year was that? What year was that for the rap game?
We did Rap Game in 2016.
Okay, because I'm trying to figure out when. I'm trying to look at the timeline because, and maybe it's for me, y'all can check me if y'all want to, because fact check me and all that. I ain't too big for all that.
it was 2016,
No,
2017.
what I was getting ready to
I
say
want to say.
was, I think for me anyway, you were the first person from Baltimore that I knew that was on reality TV. Like, I mean, Tammy
Absolutely.
came with Love and Hip Hop, I think, and then I know the young lady, I can't think of her name, but she was just on Atlanta Housewives. She from Baltimore, Randallstown. But
Hmm.
I think, and again,
But
that's why,
mainstream.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
you were the first one that when I looked on reality TV, I was like, wait, first of all, that's my sis. But then secondly, I was like, it's like you kind of, it was a door opening after that, that a lot of people from Baltimore started being on
Yes.
like reality TV shows.
Absolutely. That's a fact. That's a
Okay.
fact.
Okay.
Fact check.
Fact check. Fact check.
Yes,
Microphone check
fact
one, two,
check.
1, 2.
Because not too long after we got done filming the reality show, we actually went on a 17 city tour
Uh-huh.
for about 3.5 months.
Okay.
So and then he went from there, and then he had Lil Key headline his own tour with Fresh Empire.
Okay.
And we did that for about 3 months. And it was just it was crazy. It was just kind of like one tour after another. He did 3 world tours back
Oh,
to
come
back.
on. Come on.
So we did that. It was definitely an amazing experience. And then we kind of just we did MTV, My Super Sweet 16, and
I
so we kind
remember
of like
that.
gave
Yep.
back to the city. They came here. We had pretty much a camera crew just follow our pretty much our every step. It was just kind
Hmm.
of like set up,
Girl,
and
I might be
everywhere
kind of
we
scared
went,
for
they
that.
were there. I know it can be a lot. It can
I'll
be
be
a
like,
lot.
hold up,
Definitely,
edit
it
that one, edit that,
it
take that out.
it is a mental preparation. But
Yes,
hey, let me tell you, it's reality TV. It's called reality TV for a reason.
right. The
So
unscripted,
they
real
ain't trying
reality.
to, yeah, they ain't trying to edit nothing out, because certain things bring certain ratings, and
Right, right, right.
anybody that's involved in film, they know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
So, but when I say we did a all gold bro mitzvah, and when I say the city showed up, they showed up.
Yeah.
We had about 2,500 people show up. We turned away maybe about 1,000 people. They couldn't even get in.
Wow.
So, but it was crazy, but it was amazing. It was so
Absolutely.
amazing.
Look, the stories to be able to tell the children, the
Mm.
grandchildren, the great grands, and everything
Yes.
like that. And
Hmm.
that's, yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. A city of wealth, a city of, and I don't call people stars, God made stars, but a city of celebrities in their own rights and in the rights of other people's eyes as well, right? But not only just that, like you said, people who give back to the city. That's really what makes, to me, that's really what makes a celebrity. Somebody who
Yeah.
takes their platform, takes their status, and makes sure that they're able to share it with other people to help them as well. And that's, I know you do
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Girl,
We
so
yeah, we've done Airfram in Baltimore. Like, when I say we've met and collab with a lot of people. And like I said, every experience was an experience in itself. Like, just alone being on a being able to be on the rap game, we was able, of course, with Jermaine Dupri, Mariah Carey, the Brett, Nelly, Snoop Dogg, Bow Wow, Queen Latifah, and that's just really just kind of like to name a few. You
I
know what
know
I
that's
mean?
right.
So it was an amazing experience. And then we did the American Heritage Festival.
Hmm.
And even with that, like, I negotiated deals for my artists to be able to open up for Rick Ross, Jaquise, Meek Mills, Neo, Seven Streeter. Like, it's just
But
so
listen to the
many
skill set,
things.
sis. Listen to the skill
Hmm.
set. We didn't said you didn't did about 4, 5 different things, and that's another thing for Baltimore. Okay, that people used to be like, I'm like, no, I'm going to do blah blah blah. They said, Renee, are you Jamaican? You got 50, 11 jobs. You doing
You
99,000
got
things,
to.
and I'm like, listen, I'm gonna use every gift that God gave me to its fullest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, that's what really, honestly, that's what landed me behind the camera because um I was actually referred to that position by word of mouth because people seeing how well I navigated,
Yeah.
each tour and spearheaded it. And I mean, just how I handle all the business side of
Mm-hmm.
everything between booking planes, booking hotels, the venues, the time and the contracts. A lot go into that. People
Oh,
they
yeah.
just see the finished product. They just show up and they have a great time at a show,
But
but
they
people
don't know
have
all the
no
things that go behind it.
idea
But that's
that
for a
goes
manager or a
behind the
producer.
scene,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
to really like make that happen and to allow people that's coming to see the show to really be able to walk away and say, man, I had a ball, I had a blast, I really enjoyed that. That requires a lot of moving pieces.
It
And so
does.
just from me being able to do that and just speak well and just knowing how to formulate, it's something as simple as an email. People think it's easy, but if your words ain't right, you know, people ain't gonna really pay you no mind or waste their time even entertaining nothing
Absolutely.
that you gotta say. And that's just the beast of the business. We always say, are you a fish or you a shark? Or you sink or you gonna swim? So, it's like you gonna pick which one you gonna be. And so from me just being able to exude all of those skills is kind of what landed me behind the camera. And so I still was kind of like in that management um role. I managed the red carpet and managed, the timing of all, like the artists that was like moving on the tour. We had DC Young Fly, we had Jason, like I said, we had Carrie. We had some Rotimi, a lot of people know him off of Power. They know Jason, he was one of the original cast members on The Shy.
Yes.
Everybody know DC Young Fly. So, I pretty much navigated everything, their
And
timing, red
baby, if
carpet,
nothing
interviews,
else,
um,
Veronica, if
press.
nothing else, management. Let me tell you one of the
Yeah,
things that
yeah.
I'm sure it had you like, curling your hair 2 times, right? Putting people's schedules together. Okay?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
part right there would be like, seriously, it will make the average person be like, no, that's all right. Because really being able to have to talk to people and then sometimes their people, then getting a schedule together, then getting, you know what I'm saying, getting them to be at certain places at certain times, and then being able to have that rapport and that ability to communicate and lead without being a bee, you know what I'm saying, and things of that nature, like it
Hmm.
takes a lot. But you said
It
something, I
does.
wanna I wanna say this. You said something about just because you knew what to do, it landed you in a place, right? Where, like you said, it just
Hmm.
opened another door for you to operate in purpose. When I was in California, I was talking to this guy, not talking to, but he was like, what are all the things you do? So I was telling him all the things that I do. And he would see, how I dressed and all that stuff. So he always be like, girl, you be sharp. You be throwing stuff together. So one day he called me and he was just like, hey, a friend of mine shooting a movie and they need a stylist on set. You can do it? I said, where's the location? Veronica, I showed up, right? I showed
That's
is that
right.
not Baltimore? I showed up.
Hmm.
And it was like they had a stylist on set, but she didn't really know. And then, mind you, she was in the industry, and this is what she did on a regular, right? And so I came in, stepped up, took charge, because I mean, that is kind of my personality. Took charge, took over, and they was just like, yo, like, we gonna call you for another. And I'm like, okay. So look, I added stylists to my resume because I'm like, then that put me in positions to
As you
style other
should.
people. And I was like,
As you should.
what? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's how we do.
Absolutely.
That's how we do. But do you
Absolutely.
remember when you came out to California? This is
I
sisterhood
do.
and love. We just talked about being in Atlanta, being in Baltimore together. And then when my sis came to California, it was on the pop. And I was like, okay, where you at? What you doing? How much time you got going on? And what we doing together? And we showed
Yes,
in.
because I think we were in Cali. We had a tour stop and a
Mm-hmm.
show and a couple interviews, so we didn't have a lot of time, but we
No.
made it work.
Yeah.
That was I was that warmed my heart so much to just kind of just be able to, see a familiar face and just
Yeah.
go to dinner and just unwind. Sometimes you just need that when you're on the go so much.
Yeah.
Like don't get it twisted. Handling business is what we do and we enjoy it, but sometimes just to sit back, be able to relax and let your head down and just
Mm-hmm.
to really be able to unwind and it not be a business dinner
Yep.
or a business lunch or a business breakfast. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it I definitely enjoyed it. I did.
And I think, didn't we go to America's Got Talent, a taping of that show or
We
something?
did. We did. Yes, we did. That was amazing. That was amazing. That was off the fly
It
too. Oh my
was.
God, y'all. It was so unplanned. It was just like boom, hello. This what can you go? I'm like, I'm there. We
Yep.
going. We going.
Yeah. Yeah. My daughter was so happy to see you. Oh my goodness. Yep. We sure was. And it was so funny because you
Big
hadn't
day
seen it in
up.
a while. Yep. So she wasn't
I
little.
know.
Mm-hmm.
She
Mm-hmm.
bigger than me now. Not big in size, but big in height. Yeah, everybody taller than me.
Girl, everybody's
Yeah.
taller than me too, Tarhonika. So, and listen, the baby is about almost as tall as me. So, and she just 10. So I'm just like, hey, and she come for my height all the time. And I'll be like, listen, I'm height challenged. You gonna stop coming for my height, okay? Because I don't get to grow no more.
We got
So
short people problems.
absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, you know what I'm saying, a miniature amount of fun. That's all.
I
That's
don't
all.
really think I don't really think it's we short. I call myself average. 5'3" is average, just not short.
Now, let me tell you what's so funny. I'm gonna tell you what is so hilarious, right? So I started this thing off talking about nobody can play me but Tarhonika. Nobody can. Tarhonika, I'm 5'3".
That is funny.
I'm 5'3". That is, well, wait, five three
See,
and a
y'all just
half.
witnessed something because I never knew that.
Never
So
knew that.
we just found this out together.
How about that, right? How about that? So, well, guess what, Veronica? We ain't even gonna give them no more conversation. We didn't gave them enough giggles and laughs. They know who you are. They know that we shine in this spotlight, and we ain't gonna talk nothing else. But we are gonna have little Key up on here though, so we can shine the light on him as well. Sis,
We are.
every time we get on this phone, every time we get together, it ain't nothing but love.
Absolutely, and I appreciate y'all taking the time out to to have me on the show. I mean,
Absolutely.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes. Listen.
I'm proud of you. You doing your
Oh.
thing, man. It was such an honor. It was definitely an honor.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. Now that she tried to almost get some punk tears out of me, y'all. Listen, we gonna go. That's it. Y'all been listen. That's our spotlight for the day. Up next is Fact of the Matter with Tony Roberts. Then it's gonna be some good music right here on Destiny Over Drama, D.O.D Radio Network. You just had your Baltimore spotlight for the day, but you know where you are. Keep it locked in. D.O.D Radio Network. Best self, best life, best radio. Say that